You feel like something is wrong. And it's not just your life. It's the world. It's the way people live, relate, get sick, go insane, lose meaning, and drag themselves day after day, waiting for something to change. But nothing changes. Wake up. You're not here to hear fairy tales or play around with internet spirituality. This is a journey for those who are done suffering in silence, and who are not afraid to face what needs to be faced. Apometry is spiritual science, a real tool, a code that gives you access to mental and spiritual layers that have been silenced, because if they were used on a large scale, they would shake the entire structure of humanity. And you need to know this. This is video 1 of our series, and I'm being crystal clear. This is a manual, step by step, with a sequence designed to make real sense. There will be no fluff, no filler, only sharp truths, and you will have to face them. This series will either open your perception or make you uncomfortable. But if you're the kind of person who seeks true transformation and not motivational phrases just to keep sleeping, then stay. Because what we're exploring here is not religion, not dogma, not superstition. It's access. Access to a level of understanding that can break patterns you've been stuck in for lifetimes. And for that, we start at the beginning. Why would someone seek out apometry? What draws a person to it? Why does it resonate so deeply with those who are often on the edge, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? The answer is brutal. Traditional medicine fails. Psychology doesn't go far enough. Conventional therapies skim the surface. And you know, deep down, you feel something beyond. A trauma that makes no sense. A fear without a source. A pain that should have been gone but isn't. That's where apometry comes in. Because it doesn't treat the symptom. It goes to the cause. And the cause is almost always outside the body. Outside of time. Beyond logic. You start waking up to apometry when you realize life is not just physical. When what they call depression is actually spiritual obsession. When a panic attack stems from an ancestral memory of death. When your self-esteem is being crushed by entities that feed off your weakness. Yes, you heard that right. There are things that survive on your failure, and unless you learn how to access, command, cleanse, and reprogram your spiritual field, you'll stay stuck in the loop. Repeating pain, repeating failure, repeating abandonment. But the world mocks this. The media trivializes it. Spirituality has become a stage for performance. Social networks are flooded with masters who've never faced their own darkness. Meanwhile, those who truly need healing are left lost, discredited, thinking they're the only crazy ones seeing shadows, feeling presences, hearing voices, with no one to explain it seriously. This is for you. For those who feel the invisible and never had someone break it down with authority. This is for those who are done being slaves to invisible suffering. Why isn't apometry in the news, universities, or casual conversations? Because it sets people free. It breaks mental, emotional, and spiritual chains. It reveals that what you think is yours might not even be yours. It might be an implant, a contract, an inherited pattern. And society doesn't want free people. It wants sick people taking pills, fearful people following orders, empty people filling the void with distractions. And you think that's just coincidence? It's not. It's control. But if you've made it this far, it's because some part of you is screaming for freedom. Here is the raw truth. You were only getting out of the hole when you understand what put you there. And apometry is the key. But forget about memorizing fancy terms. This isn't a weekend course for a certificate. This is a battlefield. We're exposing the backstage of human pain, the hidden mechanisms of the mind, the forces that operate in the astral, and how you can, with training and mental command, start breaking out of it all. You're going to understand that the human being is multidimensional, that your consciousness projects, that there are layers upon layers of your existence being manipulated without your knowledge. And yes, you can access them, you can intervene, you can transmute, but it will hurt. It will take courage. It will bring you face to face with your most primal fears. Because apometry doesn't sugarcoat, it doesn't coddle, it exposes. And if you have the guts to look, it frees you. That's why most people don't want to know. Because knowing means acting, and acting means leaving the comfort zone. But there is no comfort here, only truth. And you need to decide now. Will you keep living on autopilot, blaming life for everything? Or will you accept that you may have been manipulated by forces you were never taught to recognize? What if I told you you've already been in contact with spiritual parasites this week? What if I told you some of your decisions may be influenced right now by energies that aren't even yours? I'm not here to please you. I'm here to shock you out of your numbness. Because while you sleep, you suffer. You suffer silently. You suffer with shame. You suffer thinking the problem is you. But it's not. The problem is, they've hidden the map from you, taught you to ignore the invisible, to distrust your intuition, to medicate when your soul cries out. Enough. It's time to break that cycle. Time to understand what's really happening inside and around you. That's why this series was created. In the next videos, you'll get, step by step, the knowledge that should have been available from the beginning. We'll follow a clear and powerful sequence. Nothing will be random. Each video will be a key. And you'll understand the structure of apometry, its application, its science, and its power. We'll dive into mental commands, astral projection, energy diagnosis, the types of spiritual parasites, cutting techniques, spiritual guides, space clearing, and much more, video by video, like a manual, like a spiritual boot camp. But now, in this first video, your only task is to decide, are you in or out? Because you won't leave this unchanged. What we'll expose here will confront you, break your illusions, make you question your pain, your patterns, your relationships, and everything you once thought was normal. It will reveal that your life may have been programmed to fail, and that yes, you have the right and the power to rewrite that programming, but only if you dare to see, to enter, to go deep. In the next video, we'll get right to the center of it all. What is apometry really, beyond the shallow mysticism and internet distortion? We'll separate the real from the delusion. We'll show you what happens behind the scenes of a real apometric session, and why this practice, when done right, is one of the most powerful tools for healing and spiritual liberation available today. If you're ready, then brace yourself. Because video 2 is going to flip your world inside out.